Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J. Customers first.
So Hafide, and welcome to a very special edition of Cruising with KUAM. And I say it's very special because this is the first time in KUAM history that we have the Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Agana in our passenger seat. So I'd like to welcome His Excellency Archbishop Michael Byrnes in my passenger seat. Trying to navigate out of
Yes,
chancery.
be careful.
Very, very tight-knit spot. But, you know, there's a formality we have to go through,
Okay.
Archbishop Byrnes, and I'm sure you've watched my previous episodes where I have all my passengers sing for me.
Oh my.
Very briefly, I promise. Actually, I'm very curious because I want to know what your favorite church song is.
Oh my goodness.
Your favorite church song? Like
It's
When
a
the
song,
Choir?
Oh God Beyond All Praising. That's it's actually relatively recently written, but it's to a traditional tune, and I can't remember all the words right now. But that would probably be my favorite.
So this is not a song that we actually hear the choir singing. This is more like a gospel song?
You know, it's not a gospel song. But it's comes from more of the kind of like the English tradition of hymn singing.
Can you sing a little bit? Just a little like...
Oh God, beyond all praising, we worship you today. Da, 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 da. Yeah, so...
who sings it again?
It's a congregational hymn.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So this is not something we'd hear at the cathedral?
You could, yeah, if you had the right songbooks.
But out of all the songs that they do sing, the choir, you know, what's a song that you find yourself in the mass, presiding over the mass, and you're like, I want to jam to this song. This is my jam. I know the words.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know the words. You know, some of the Chamorro hymns to Jesus.
Oh, I know you know Tete Mami.
Yeah. Well, I do. Yeah, I can do that.
Well,
as long as other people are singing it. Yeah.
Tete Mami.
Yeah. Sorry.
Just kidding. You're doing a great job. Okay. Now that we talked about like the religious songs that you like, I want to know about the secular songs. Like, what's on your playlist when you're not listening to religious music, when you're being a normal person?
Yeah, so I've tended to like well, I'm from Detroit, so you know, whenever Motown plays.
Oh, Motown fan.
Oh, sure, yeah. That's where I grew up, you know, and so and probably my favorite among the Motown scene, especially by the Temptations, is My Girl. The bass beat, yeah, is so perfect, you know.
Okay, that's a song. If you want to get Archbishop Byrnes up and dancing, he's probably gonna be like, "I've got sunshine."
Yeah, on a cloudy day.
Any other Motown jams that you're really a big fan of?
What's that one? Oh gosh, Ain't Too Proud to Beg.
Oh.
And again, these are the Temptations.
Yes, all the Temptations.
Yeah,
okay,
so,
big Temptations fan. I'd never do that.
Temptations, Spinners. I tend to like, well, you know, growing up, I liked Chicago.
Oh, how did I figure that?
Well, because I'm from Detroit,
yeah.
You know, but again, their music was so good, you know, and the huge band that they had, so.
Oh, the horn section.
Yeah, exactly.
So, favorite Chicago tune?
Oh, yes, I can't remember the name.
It's okay. I think we're all really happy that you like the Temptations and My Girl. Tell me about your life on Guam, the transition. I know
yeah.
I mean, culturally and I guess even the weather must be a shock for your body.
It is, yes, it is. And, you know, in Detroit, you're used to, you know, a couple of weeks and maybe in the 90s in about July, early August. But then it goes away. It doesn't go away here. So, but I'm getting used to it.
You're keeping cool?
I wouldn't say that, but yeah, I'm kind of getting used to it. Getting out for, you know, swimming and occasionally playing golf. I sweat well. You sweat well? Yeah, it's important to be able to sweat.
I've never heard that term. I'm going to say it, tell people I sweat well, because I'm just a profuse sweater. But you know, that's a perfect segue to, I know you just completed Coco's Crossing, your second time, right?
I did. Yeah.
Tell me about that experience. I know you're an avid swimmer, and I think that I heard before that that's your favorite part about living on Guam. An island is always, you're always near a beach. Tell me about Coco's Crossing.
It was great. I love that kind of event. When I was back in my running days, I love the crowd. I mean, not the spectators, but just being amidst a bunch of other athletes.
The community.
Yeah, right. And it is a real community because you're all doing the same thing. You have one goal, finish, or to win. And I don't never have that goal really, but I love the experience. It was kind of sound mind, sound body kind of thing. And so so you meet different people that like doing something you like to do.
But tell me about your the physical experience. Was it difficult?
It is. Yeah, you walk out tired, and I've never been like really fast, like in running or anything like that, but I can keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And so
you're an endurance athlete, like.
Yeah.
Would your time improve from the first time?
It did, yes. I knocked 3 minutes off last
That's
year.
awesome.
Yeah, I was happy with that. Very happy.
Do other swimmers freak out when they realize who you are? Because you're obviously
every once in a while I'll get a double take. Yeah. Wait a minute.
This guy looks familiar, but he's not wearing his.
Yeah. So, right. I do get a few double takes. I had a couple of fans. Some young men from FD came out with a sign. They said, and the sign said, "Feel the burn," and with a little S at the end, And so.
Nice pun there, FD.
Yeah. These guys, they're not just jocks at FD. They've got a sense of poetry.
and brotherhood.
And brotherhood, definitely.
Brotherhood.
Yeah. I went to a high school very much like FD.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yes, and the mafia that grows out of it among the alumni. Same thing.
The elitists. That's what we tease them.
It's similar in that the school that I went to, Catholic Central in Detroit. There's a lot of leadership that comes out of this. In fact, the mayor of Detroit, the current mayor of Detroit, was a classmate of mine, and so it's in that way there's a similarity too. It's not necessarily that the alumni become these very wealthy people, but they're often involved in service.
That's good.
Political service or other kinds of things.
And I see that at FD, yes.
Exactly. You see the same same thing. It's so I feel kind of at home with FD. I mean, I was grieving as much as the rest, with poor Tony Thompson. Yeah, so
rest in peace. I know that the recent championship, the volleyball championship, I think they took home for him. Mm-hmm. And the graduation was very, very emotional. They even had a chair for him.
Yeah.
So he's beloved.
I sat next to that chair.
Very beloved member of the FD community and that brotherhood.
Buy with confidence. It's the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J. Customers first. Buy with confidence. It's the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J. Customers first.
Let's talk more serious now.
Okay.
Got rid of all the light stuff. Let's talk about, you arrived to Guam almost, your 2-year anniversary is coming up in November.
Right, yeah.
2 years on Guam. You arrived at the height of scandal. I know that when you first arrived, there was maybe only a handful of clergy sexual abuse lawsuits, and at the time of this recording, there are 174 filed in both the local and federal court. And I know that the lawyers have also said that they're settling 10 more cases that have not
for
Hope and Healing that have opted not to.
So we're over 100
lawyers, so 180 plus. And so, what are you thinking right now? we are in the triple, like, the digits keep climbing. People are placing their bets. How many people will file?
Right.
Will we reach 200 by the end of the summer?
Yeah. Our hope is that all who have been affected, traumatized by this, to come forward, so that we can, we have this opportunity to bring a mediated settlement to, the way I think of it is, we can't give complete justice to these victims, but we can give them a measure of justice, and through the mediation. And so, I'm really hopeful that if people are still kind of on the fence, should I come forward? Should I not come forward? I would encourage them to come forward, because we want to, again, provide some measure of justice.
And the healing.
And the healing that'll come out of that. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Looking back, in almost 2 years now, would you do anything differently?
I think what I would do differently is, I think at the beginning we took an approach of we're going to litigate this, and argue the case, the cases individually. Of course, at that time there was only a half dozen, but I think our first move, again, God forbid it ever comes to this, would be to go to some kind of mediation, something that's more collaborative and not adversarial. And so, but hopefully, that we'll, not hopefully, we're committed, right now and then going forward, that if it does happen again, we'll handle it immediately. We won't let it linger. We're not going to pass on priests just, to send them somewhere else.
We're not putting this under the rug anymore.
Exactly. No. If it happens, everybody's going to see it in the light of day, and we're going to deal with it. And so, right, it's just not going to tolerate it. And so, I came with that conviction, anyways. But I'm grateful that we're able to kind of put more flesh on it.
I know one of the things you had to face coming to Guam was trying to reunify the church.
Yeah.
Do you think you've made progress? Do you think you made progress?
Yeah, that's hard.
How do you measure that?
Yeah, exactly. I do get a lot of informal, like in the Payless, thank you, Bishop, for doing, for coming here. Thank you for, we think you're doing good, and that's, that's some indication. It's nice, it's polite, and all that too. But that's a hard thing to measure. Have we unified? I think we're seeing a little more among the priests.
Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first. Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first.
Okay, Archbishop Byrnes, let's talk a little bit about finances.
Yes.
In the beginning, you told KUAM that it was a mess. It was dodgy.
Mm-hmm.
Was your words. We've since got an account. Josie is a
fire finance officer.
Your finance officer, and tell us about the work she's doing and her team. And have we made improvements?
Well, we have, and we call her group the A-Team, and so yes, and they're very, very competent accountants, and so between the kind of they're available to help parishes and schools that are struggling with putting together their financial records in a way that's connects the credits with the debits, and
Okay.
so that's one thing that she's done. She's done a lot of kind of like in-house clinics with various parishes, and this A team, the group of young ladies, are the ones facilitating that. We've also, and a big part of what they were doing was connecting all the parishes and schools to this Cathonet service, which allows for a real-time window into the financial situation in all of the parishes and schools.
Right.
And so it's a way of we can spot like oops you need to look at this thing. We can spot that.
So it definitely gives the
online.
red flags.
Definitely, yeah. And so that was the thing that prompted the team to go in and look at one of the schools at
St.
St. Anthony's to see there's some irregularities.
That's a hard word.
Blah, blah, blah.
Irregularities.
And so and so there was you're sad that it happened. There was, but we caught it, and that was and the Cathonet service that actually came out of, it was purchased with the funds raised at the Archbishop Michael Byrnes golf tournament last August. So
Oh, you have your own golf tournament?
we did last year. I don't know if we're gonna. I think we're gonna do it again this year. And
That's
I
where
think
you
for a
play
different-
golf.
Yeah. So so that's been a blessing, and we're still there's other things that we need to work on, more of our rationale for our assessments, and that's
Would you say that we're more stable than we were a few months ago?
much more stable. Yes.
Because I know that we recently implemented fees, but this was to fund the chancery, who
Right.
for so long wasn't funded by the schools.
Right. Yeah. So, and we've got a lot more work to do in that regard, and again, mainly in terms of rationale, and we did it in an emergency way at the beginning, which. But we need to think through some more things, and we're working on that. So we're in a much better situation overall.
Let's talk about transparency. Are we there?
Yeah, I think we're there. I mean, probably our next step in would be to get ourselves in a state where we could do an audit of the whole Archdiocese. That will probably still take a little bit more of us more work to get to that. But I think what was published in the Umatuna
Right, and I think
a
you
couple
guys
weeks ago.
are doing a great job at that.
Yeah, and so we got a lot of good feedback from knowledgeable people saying thanks. This helps a lot, and so I even had a finance officer or the head of the finance council of one of the parishes came by and said, "Boy, this helped." They were able to get a snapshot through Cathonet and published it in their own bulletin, and the people were just thrilled.
This is where my money is going when
Exactly. This is
I
what
give
we're doing with it.
this money at the church. Wow, that's awesome. That's
Yes.
really, really awesome. I think people were hesitant, like I don't want to give a lot of money because I don't know where it's going.
Right? Is it all going to pay off?
Or where's the second
settlements.
collection going? Like,
Yes.
I think a lot of people are curious, myself included, like where is my money going?
Exactly. Yeah.
I wouldn't spend money mindlessly, so if the church is spending my money mindlessly, that's good though. To hear great things about Cathonet. We did see that with St. Anthony's School, and now we have this greater transparency thanks to programs like this.
Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1-year maintenance, 1-year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first. Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1-year maintenance, 1-year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first.
What is the status of the neo-catechumenal way? I know that we had a pause. You weren't calling it a moratorium at all.
Right.
A pause on the formation of new communities.
Yes, and that's really still continuing. I'll be meeting I've had one meeting with the leadership of the Neo-Canada Communal Way on the island, and we'll have another meeting in a couple of weeks to continue to talk about how can we work together in greater visible unity. And
Because I don't think it's that we're anti-NCW. It's we
Right.
want to embrace each other, right?
Yes, and so we'll have that conversation, and then I'll make some decisions and about how we can help move this forward. So.
And of course, I have to ask. You did again. We said you came at the height of scandal. Your predecessor, a verdict did come down from the Vatican. What are your thoughts? I know it wasn't actually much closure at all, because now he's reportedly
On appeal.
on appeal.
Yes.
So what does this mean for you? What would you say to him?
Golly. I'd encourage him to embrace repentance for what he's been found guilty of. I don't know what that is. I've appealed. I've written a letter to the congregation and just expressed my concern for, especially the victims, that for whom this is kind of an uncertain justice that they've given. They know he's guilty of something,
But we don't know what.
but we don't know of what, and more importantly, they don't know of what. And so I think out of justice, the accusers need to know. They need to know, was I believed? Was my testimony credible? Because they can't have justice just knowing that in some vague way,
Right.
So that's my hope is that.
And a canonical trial is very different from
Yeah.
the judicial system we're used to.
Right. And so I'm hopeful that, upon the conclusion of the appeal, which I hope is done swiftly. I mean, we're already, 3 months out on that. And so I'm hopeful that we'll get some clarity at that point.
Okay, Archbishop Byrnes, any last words? Any final thoughts?
Next time I want to hear you play the saxophone. That's my final thoughts, okay?
Thanks so much for joining us.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for entrusting me with your life. I'm sure you're praying the entire ride. Thank you again.
You
I'll
too.
see you at Mass.
Very good.
And
All
I
right.
can't wait to hear your next homily. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Archbishop
I'll
Byrnes.
do my best
Thank you.
to connect the dots.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.